Today we're going to replace the door lock actuator on a Volkswagen Beetle. It's a fairly common issue, but it's also a very expensive one, but it's something you can definitely do on your own with a little bit of patience, so let's get started. As you can see here, the lock will go down, but it will not come back up, and that happens either on the switch or with the remote, so we're going to replace the whole thing. Taking this door panel off is pretty easy. There's two screws behind the door handle, and then there's a few Torx screws down bottom. You pull off the cap for the door handle, and you have access to those two screws. Then we're just going to pop this up, and then at the very top it is kind of stuck in, wedged in between some weather stripping, so you've got to work a little bit to pull that up and get it out. If you have a panel tool, you can get it in there upside down so that it's not sharp towards the back of that door, and you can use that to pry up a little bit. It'll start to pop it out and this whole thing will come off. Once you do, you're going to have a few harnesses connected, and also the cable for the door lock. We'll have to pop that off too. And these harnesses are easy to get off. You have the one for the window switch and for the door lock switch, and there's a pretty large tab to release it. You just push down on that and it'll pop right out. The cable for the door lock, it's got a hook on it. You just will manipulate that hook until it can come out of the eye that's in the back of that door handle, and this will come off. Now this entire panel will have to come off, and it's held on mainly by 10mm bolts all the way around. You've got a harness that goes to your speaker. You've got a harness that goes to your power window motor. But most importantly, the window regulator is attached to this panel, so you'll have to actually disconnect the glass from that regulator clamps, and we'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to start by disconnecting whatever we can of this harness, and they're all little clips, little push clips into the panel, so if you have a panel tool, get in there and start popping those out. Then pry out the window switch off the door panel, bring it over and plug it back into the harness. Use that to bring your window down just a tiny bit. These two access holes here allow you to get to the clamps that hold the glass on. So you'll want to bring those clamps right down just so you can see those screws through those holes, and then you'll undo those Torx screws. I'll put a link below to a set of these Torx bits. But once you get these two brackets off, you want to push the window up by hand. So before you do that, have some tape ready. I've got some duct tape on the other side of this window. As soon as I can slide this window up, I'll bring that tape up and around and hold that window in place. Now turn your attention to the door jamb. You will need a special set of tools for this, which are triple square sockets. They look like Torx, but with a lot more little nubs on them. I'll put a link below to this set here. You'll have two bolts that hold in the door lock. Remember, this door lock mechanism is actually part of the actuator, so it's one large component that's going to come out. Then you have a smaller set screw up top behind this little cap. With that removed, come back around and remove all the 10mm bolts that hold this panel in place. The harness that goes to your power window motor is quite large, but it's easy to come out. There's a slide. You just slide it straight up, and as you slide that up, it'll work to pull the plug out of its socket. Finish removing all the parts that hold the harnesses onto this frame, including this grommet right here. Once we have this ready to come out, it's going to pull out towards you and down, because those window regulators come up past the gray portion or the silver portion here, the door side. What we have left is removing the key cylinder and the cable that goes to the door handle. So you want to use some sort of plastic tool that you don't mar up any of the paint, but this should slide straight out. Put that to the side and then pull on the door handle. You'll see the cable that is latched into this piece of plastic here. Take a small pick and just pry it up. It'll come out pretty easy. The panel should be ready to come out now. Even with all the 10mm bolts removed, it will be stuck on there because of the weather stripping, so you'll have to pry it up a tiny bit. But once you start to peel it away, you can pull this out towards you, pull the bottom first, so you can let the entire panel slide downward a little bit. That'll clear the tracks of the window regulator from the back side of the door. Then you want to tilt it down a little bit to clear the lock actuator itself, which is quite large, and there's a few things connected to it. You have the rod that goes up and down, you have the harness for your electrical, you have a cable that goes to the handle on the outside, and a cable that goes to the handle on the inside. And all those get in your way, so you'll have to wiggle and pry them out, but you should be able to get this panel out now. There's enough slack on the harness for you to stand this panel up vertically on the sill, and that gives you a good place to work. Now this actuator also is held in by two plastic rivets, and on this car one was already broken, but it has a push pin in the center. You'll push on it and it'll pop out and it comes off from the door frame. They're really not that important. Their purpose is to hold this actuator in place when you're putting this panel back in. For me, just the one is going to be fine, and it's easier to remove them now when the panel is out than to do it while it's in the door. With the plastic rivets removed, you can now disassemble this actuator. First, remove the electrical plug. There's a little tab in the back. You push down on it and it'll come right out. The rod with the lock plunger has a grommet on it, so this takes some muscle to pull that out. But once you pop that through, you can take this entire assembly out, even with the cable still attached. The rod has a half moon shape that if you spin and angle it, it'll pop out. The cable that goes to the inner door handle snaps into a housing. Once you pry that up, the end of the cable has a little T on it. You spin that and then you pull it through the slot. There's a very short cable that goes to the exterior door handle, and I'll leave that in place for now. I'm going to focus on this bracket. You do have to transfer this bracket, and it is held on with a rivet, so you'll have to drill that out. It's aluminum. The drill bit will go right through it. Drill it and pull this entire bracket out. Use caution because the bracket it clips into a housing, and it's really easy to break this entire bracket if you push or pull on the wrong spot. Moving on to the actuator, if you try buying this from Volkswagen, you'll find that it's either discontinued or backordered, but Porsche makes the exact same one for $600 some. This is on Amazon for 30 bucks, and it works fine. I'll put the link below. Do a quick inspection, make sure the actuator is identical. Slide the bracket you removed from your original actuator into the slot on a new one. It will be tight. This is the part where you have to use caution pushing this in. Don't push on anything other than the part that slides into that slot, or else you'll break this bracket. Make sure it goes all the way up and it fully seats, and the hole where the rivets go line up. You can use a small nut and bolt here, but if you have a riveter, go ahead and use that. And go up one size. Make sure that that rivet seats fully into those holes there, but it is not too small to rip through. Once that's secure, we're ready to reassemble. First, transfer the small cable. You can pull this arm up, give it a half turn, and it will slide right out. And just go ahead and reinstall in the new unit in the exact opposite way. Locate the slot that receives the cable from the inner door handle. Take the inner handle cable, slide the T into the slot, rotate the cable downward, and snap it into the housing. Locate the slot that receives the rod of the door lock. Hook the half moon shape into the hole, give it a spin, and then flip it right side up. Now we're ready to mount this actuator back onto this door frame. Start by pushing the rod or threading the rod through the opening up towards the top of this panel. As you start to slide that rod up, get the cable that goes to the inner door handle and put that through its corresponding hole. Push the bracket through the corresponding holes on the door frame using the plastic rivets. Once fully seated, take the pins and insert them to expand the plastic and attach this bracket. Push the grommets for the rod and the cable through and make sure they're fully seated. Then reconnect the electrical plug. Now tilt this frame back into place. First, you want to make sure you clear any of the cabling so you don't pinch any of that. Make sure it's out of the way. Then you want to make sure that the tracks for the window regulator go in first. So you'll have to tilt the bottom of this frame out towards you. Get those tracks in and behind. At the same time, angle this entire panel to get this actuator in behind that space as well, making sure that the top right corner of that frame stays out so it doesn't get wedged behind the lip of that door frame. Once you get that into place, secure the frame with one of the 10mm bolts. Next, you'll want to attach the two bolts that hold the door latch in place. It will not be lined up, so if you can put one finger into the well of the door latch, just one finger in there, hook it and push it up a little bit, you'll line up those holes. Get those two triple square bolts started by hand. Next, take a pick. If you have a hook pick or a right angle, it'll work best. Reach in and pop out this small cable. It'll be right there. You just need to orient it out towards the hole. Then the end of this piece will snap into the groove that's in the door handle. You can just push it straight in by hand. Take the lock cylinder, push it straight in until it's flush with the door. Tighten the small triple square set screw. Torque down the bolts to hold the latch to 9 Nm or 7 foot-pounds. It's a good idea to test the functionality of the latch before going any further. So take a screwdriver or a pick and push the latch in until it clicks, then use the door handle and make sure it releases. And put the cap back over the set screw. Reattach the 10mm bolts that surround this panel. Make sure your grommets are fully seated. Reattach all the clips that hold in your wire harness at different locations, and plug in the harness that goes to your window motor. Plug in your speaker, give everything a once over, and check door lock functionality with your remote. To do this test, you will have to manually latch this door so that the car thinks it's closed, so that when you hit the remote, it will actuate the lock up and down. Test functionality, release the latch, and move on. Next, it's time to release the tape that we have holding the glass up Let the glass slide down evenly and as level as possible onto the brackets of the window regulator. Make sure the glass is sitting level and as even as possible to prevent binding as this window goes up and down. Tighten down the 2 Torx screws that hold these clamps together. Keep in mind, these are metal clamps surrounded by rubber that clamp directly onto the glass, so you don't want to over tighten them. These get torqued down to 8 Nm or 6 foot-pounds. Test functionality. If the window goes fully up and down without a problem, we can move on. If you removed your window switch earlier, now's when you want to snap it back into your door panel. Bring the panel close enough to the door to be able to reconnect your door lock and window buttons, and then hook the door lock cable onto the lever and latch it into place. Hold the door panel on an angle and thread the door lock plunger in through the hole. Then you want to slightly elevate the panel, push it in towards the weather stripping, push that ledge down into it, make it snap into place. You'll have to wiggle it back and forth, eventually it'll snap in. Once that's seated, snap the rest of the door into place. Next, test functionality of your inner door handle before moving any further. Latch it in manually, pull up on the handle, watch that it releases. Now we move on. Tighten down the 2 Phillips head screws that go through the door handle, then replace the cover by snapping it into place. Fasten the 3 Torx head screws at the bottom of the door. One last test from the outside with the door closed. The plunger goes up and down with the remote, and this job is done. I like making these videos to show how easy it is to do some of these things on your own, and of course to save a ton of money while doing it. I'll put links below to the tools or items I've used, and if you use my links, I will earn a whole 17 cents.